everybody, Jared of Second Life Design. Welcome back to Milling Monday. It has been forever and a day since I have uploaded a video, and that is mainly because I have not been chainsaw milling. I have, through different events, timing-wise, work getting in the way, I've not really chainsaw milled anything since March, and it's been quiet, and if I have nothing to upload, I don't want to waste your guys' time with just kind of fluff material, so that's why you haven't heard from me, but I am back. I will be posting more and have some new content to go with because I got a new chainsaw. You can see that in the back. I got a brand new MS 881 chainsaw from Steel. And I'm going to do a quick walk around of it. I don't have a lot of time with it so far as performance, so I can't really speak to longevity or performance at this point. I will very shortly, but I want to do a quick walk around of what I got and why I got it, and then also why I went up to the 880. So that'll be a second part coming in after I do the little walk around here. All right, this is an MS 881, 122 cc's of pure badass. This thing is almost 10 horsepower. It is a beast. I will, just from a size comparison, this is my 661 next to it. And you can just see how much physically larger this one is. If you think of this one being as 30 cc's larger than that, and that's already a beast of a saw, that should indicate, what level of performance we're going to get out of this. So for this one, I ended up buying, there's a couple differences. When you go to buy these, they have, you can get them in different length bars. I got the shortest bar there was, a 25-inch. It is the cheapest. I'm going to be putting on a fairly long bar for milling, or a very long bar for milling, and I don't really need, a 41-inch bar. I've got a 42-inch for my other saw. I don't need, I didn't need anything to make this any longer, so I just got the shortest one there was to make it cheaper. I did get the full wrap handle. So what that is, like you can see on the 661 where it does not, there's nothing over on this side. On this one, it wraps around over here, and there's a whole nother handle here. This is more like a West Coast big timber feller thing, and why I got it was the only one available, basically. It's like a $40 difference to get that, and the one that was the traditional handle was not available at the time when I went to order this. I ordered this from my local dealer. They had it within 5 days from their supply house, so it's readily in stock, ready to go. I don't know many places that keep many of these in stock, especially in central Illinois where I'm at, just because they are such a rarity. Not many tree services are going to get these, so I don't see these just kind of flying off the shelf. So ordering them, not a problem. If they're back ordered, you may want to inquire about a full wrap handle and see if that's available. When the mill is on here, what kind of sold me on that, when the mill is on here, it's going to be sticking down to, there's some parts stick down, the roller wheels and that. If I'm ever milling this close to the ground, within 3-4 inches of the ground, I cannot envision a time when I'll be doing that with this saw. So that's where it was not really a hard decision to make. So that's why I went with the one I got. I will be speaking about performance as I get more time on it. I've ran it for a total of 5 minutes. Making some cuts, so I don't have a lot of cut time with it. It's not broken in yet. I need to run a few gallons of gas through it to get it really broken in well, and then I'll be able to speak more about performance and things of that nature. But yeah, it is a beast. Comparison, here's an MS 170, so we have the smallest chainsaw Steel makes and the biggest. That is crazy. Okay, so quick and dirty walk around of the new guy. Let's talk about why I got it. So on my last milling job, I was having a problem where the chain kept coming loose, where I was getting a lot of play in the chain. And under a closer inspection, I found a crack in the bar. So right at the mounting point where the two studs are, right behind the oil hole, the bar cracked all the way through that, and that was allowing a lot of play. I'd run the same Forester bar for 4 seasons prior to this. I had no complaints with it. I would get it again in a second. I would buy that brand of bar without a question. I do not fault them for anything they have done to make a really good product. So I found myself on that, kind of that decision of, do I just replace this bar or maybe do I upgrade? I'm getting my logs now where they are bigger and bigger. I'm maxing out what I have. It's time for an upgrade. The one complaint I did have with the bar was it was kind of floppy. You know, when it was just by itself, it would kind of bend easy. And that was, I've seen that in other bars and other people I've talked to. It's the same kind of thing where it is just, they kind of wander around when they're not in the mill. Or you can get kind of some sagging or bowing when it is in the mill. So to go longer, I didn't want to make that problem worse. You need a thicker bar so it doesn't flex, right? I mean, that makes sense. To get a bigger bar, a longer bar, you have to get the bigger mount. That's just the way it is. You know, you got to be able to turn the big chain and the big bar to do that, and that's the only one that'll do it in the steel lineup. So I haven't locked in the exact size of what I'm getting so far. I know it'll be substantially more than the 4 feet I could mill before. So I'm still waiting on that. I'm working with Granberg to get a new bar in, and as soon as I have that, everyone will know. I'm hoping for a good size. I want to have the biggest mill in the area. You know, that was buying this power head. It's a substantial commitment. You know, it's a pretty high dollar item. There's not a lot of them out there. And, you know, it's an investment in the business, and it will pay for itself. The 661 I had paid for in the first season, so I'm not worried about, you know, cost as much, you know, recouping cost on it, but it's a lot of upfront investment. So it took a long time to think about. This is something I'd been kind of toiling over for a long time. It wasn't just until the bar broke. It was, you know, you kind of think of things happening before they do, and it makes it easier to make those decisions. You've already gathered the information and whatever. And even I'm thinking to myself, you know, one of my oldest YouTube videos, one of the long ones that, you know, people have seen for a long time, was comparing a 661 to an 880 and which one's better for milling. And in that, I kind of come to the conclusion that a 661 will cover most people for their milling needs. You know, I think I still stand behind that. You know, I think for a lot of people, they would be more than happy with the 661 getting a longer bar. I think a lot of people want to stop at a 36 or 42 inch bar for, you know, the 661, and that's not the case. You can go longer. I did it and it was fine. So for a large majority of people, I think that still you could save, you know, $1,000 and get the 661 and you'd be fine. I've just gotten to a point where I'm maxing it out constantly. The supply of logs is there. The demand for other people to have me do milling for them is there. It just kind of makes sense. There's no one else to do it, so somebody has to, and that's where I'm at with it. So I hope that makes sense. I don't want anyone to think, you know, that I'm you know, going back on what I said earlier. You know, I think the 661 is a beast of a saw. I would recommend that to anybody. I'm just a unique case where I need wider, heavier, stronger, and that's where I'm at. That's where I ended up with this one. So there will be a lot more stuff coming up as far as performance and breaking it in and doing all that jazz. I hope to have a lot more milling stuff coming. As I'd said earlier, it's been a weird summer. I was working out of state for most of a month, and I've been helping a friend with some personal stuff. I've just been doing other things. So I didn't want to keep, you know, just putting videos out to put them out, but I'm back and here we are. If you're interested in anything else kind of related to chainsaw milling, you know, I've got some good things I can share as far as, you know, log trailer stuff, log moving, tree identification. I can do that stuff. If you guys are cool with it, I can include that into Milling Monday, and I think that would help. You know, when I talked about log trailers and things once before, someone said like, "Hey, this is just about milling. We don't want all that." So if you're interested in other things related to chainsaw milling, let me know and I can start integrating that as well and be a good resource for you. So as always, guys, I appreciate the support. I appreciate everyone sticking with me, and you know, the subscriber count's still climbing, and it's always cool to see that. I really appreciate all the messages that people send me that say, you know, I wouldn't have gotten started with milling if it wasn't for these videos, and I've just learned a lot. I gained a lot of confidence in doing it, and you know, it helps me remind me why I'm doing it. So I appreciate all your comments and taking the time to watch the videos and to send messages. I really appreciate it. So that's what I got for tonight, guys. Any other questions, you can hit me up here. You can find me on Instagram at Secondlifedesign, and we'll see you next time.